Hey everybody, welcome back to Cover Down. Here today, I'm with some very special guests. One is a giant tan Greek god that I love so much, and the other one is the most auspicious warrior poet this side of the Mississippi. So it's gonna be a good show. Get ready to hang out with us, talk about some awesome veteran-related crap that I love, and we'll get into it. Intro!
Somebody else to do it for you.
All right, guys, welcome back. So today in the studio, I have the return of the Greek freak. All right. Here with Thor, the guys from Veteran Equine Therapeutic Services, to talk about some of the stuff they do and what they've been up with lately. So for those of you following at home who might not know, Thor's kind of a Niko, you're kind of a celebrity on this show for some
a big deal.
odd reason.
I don't know.
You got a Greek fan base. I'm going to tell you that right now. Yeah, I'm serious.
People in Greece, all you vets.
So today we're going to talk about you guys individually, all right, because you're also people too, and we like to talk about the things that you do. All right, we're not people on the show; we're just talking heads. And Veteran Equine Therapeutic Services and what you guys do there, some of the events that you might have coming up and stuff like that. But
a lot going on.
Yeah, I haven't quite followed your doings as of late because you are a busy man.
Yes,
from the looks of it, it's normally it's almost 100% related to what you're doing with your organization, and you just make me want to come hang out with you because you're always doing all the fun stuff too.
That's what I do. I lead by example.
Yeah.
All my amigos together.
So let's just we're going to start off with the basics. Let's just talk about vets.
Yeah.
All right. So where did it all start? Where did it come from? How'd y'all get into it?
Yeah, so Veterans Equine Therapeutic Services was the idea of a Navy and Coast Guard Master Chief, Craig McAllister. He had a brother-in-law who was in an IED attack in Afghanistan, came back to the United States and ended up going to an equine therapeutic center called Rock on Ride in Texas. And he had great outcomes from going to that program. Craig was out in Texas with him, had seen it, came back to Connecticut. His girlfriend was boarding a horse at the barn where I was working at the time. And he saw that I was instructing there, and he asked myself and Christina Clark if we would kind of help him set up the organization and get it going. So I became the lead instructor and the board president, and kind of started from there and just has been growing over the past, almost 10 years now.
Niko, you're part of the board as well.
And I came on about 2 years ago through relentless
Recruiting, yes.
through Thor.
Took 2 years to get him on board.
But he's not slinging pizzas.
Well, I had some bad dealings in the past with some other veteran nonprofits, and it didn't work out, and I had a bad taste in my mouth. And Craig and this fine gent right here, they were just chiseling away slowly, and I was actually going through some hard times myself, and Thor's like, why don't you come down to the barn, see what we do. We went out into the backwoods. He showed me around, and we had a little soothing therapy, and he talked to me, and I listened, and that was really the day that I decided, I'm like, okay, now I see what's going on here. I'm like, I want to be part of something bigger and help the veteran community as they need.
Yeah.
And so do deserve. So, yeah.
Yeah, like you were saying, he's such a personality that it was one of those. I mean, he is, I call him my Yenta. I mean, he's just out there. He knows everybody, and he makes connections. It's one of those, we've got this thing going now that's, I know a guy, or I got a guy. It's kind of one of those things that he's the guy that's like, hey, do you know a mechanic? He's like, I got a guy. Do you know somebody? I got a guy. Do you know a guy? I know a guy. Right? So it's one of those.
Yeah. So, I mean, what are you laughing at over there, Nick? Sometimes we like to talk to the producer.
Yes. Oh.
Love producers.
So, makes a whole lot of sense, all right, for you to be joining this organization as a Greek veteran yourself.
Thank you.
But Thor, you're not a veteran, but yet here you are spearheading this great cause, and like I said before, this philanthropic warrior poet, quoting Sun Tzu.
So there's it's definitely I have this mysterious backstory that.
But I personally like to know more. I mean, because the work you guys are doing is fantastic. But what brought you into this? What made you so passionate about the veteran community?
So coming from a military family, and having a relationship with the military, and talk about that in a minute. My first memory is being on the back of a horse with my mother, and the majority of what I had learned from in the horse world was from her. She was a PhD, 2 master's degrees, an amazingly intelligent woman, an amazing horsewoman, an amazing person. So she was really about, I grew up in Florida in the 60s, very kind of country redneck, if you will, hunting, fishing, running around. I don't remember wearing shoes till I was probably like 7 years old. My grandfather was an avid hunter, so a lot of what the outdoor skills and everything that I learned was from him.
Gotcha.
My father was very traditional Norwegian, and it was all about, self-reliance, independence, those types of things. So he was very, my brother and I were, either tearing down 1911 45s at 10 years old, which the lesson is don't put your face over the barrel when you're compressing the slide spring.
Yes, I agree.
Because it will come up and punch you in the forehead.
Yep.
And those were early lessons. So it was, really grew up kind of outdoors, and that kind of gave me the foundation for what I was doing. My dad was in Vietnam. He was in the Navy. He was on aircraft carriers at the very beginning of Vietnam. My uncles were both in the Army. One of them was very spooky. He was a full bird colonel who was working for Air America and doing a lot of work like that. Really interesting stuff, because when we were 8 years old, 9 years old, he came back from Vietnam, and he had all of the boy cousins, and there were like 5 of us. He had made custom tailored tiger stripe NVA uniforms for all of us, with the hats, with everything.
That's awesome.
So when we played Army around the yard in prison camp, we all had official uniforms. There's great stories around that.
Well, that's a lot better than what I got, because I had my uncle Fred, who was like, "Hey, you're outside playing Army. Here, take this stuff," and it's a helmet, gas mask, uniform, all that things.
Yep.
And it's not until later that when I grew up, that these weren't his; they were war trophies.
Oh,
and I was running around in them as a little kid.
nice.
And I still wish I had them.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like these are things that he pulled off. Killed soldiers, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm taking that home. Some little kid on the floor is gonna play with it."
Yeah, it's like when somebody
little
gives
dark,
you
but
the used gas mask, and it still has CS residue inside of it. Or you haven't done that one.
Yeah,
That's
it actually had Vietnamese writing on the inside of it. Today, I don't know what it said on the inside, but I was like, "What are these weird squiggles?" He must have been testing a marker.
Yeah.
Come to find out later, it's kind of weird that he was actually letting me play with it. But
yeah, so it was really coming from that. My other uncle was the commander of Fort Story in Virginia, so spent a lot of time on bases, in that environment.
So you grew up in the community then, like you are
100%.
then essentially a part of the community.
Yeah, it was. And then my cousin had been doing martial arts with an individual who had come from Japan. He was teaching at Old Dominion University, and this was probably 1976, 77, 78. I'm old. And this guy named Hiroyuki Hamada was teaching, and he was a samurai. He is a samurai. He's still alive, and he's still my teacher. But he would tell us these stories about having to do push-ups on rocks and go out into a lake and break the ice and work out in that and go out in the ocean.
Meditate under waterfalls, fight bears.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. This
all
was this
about
guy.
this.
And I'm like, I got to get some of that, right? So when I turned 18, I left Florida, moved to Virginia to study martial arts with this guy. Spent the next 4 years getting to my provisional brown belt, and then moved to Japan, went to Japan to get my black belt. So was in Kyoto, tested for my black belt in Kyoto. That's where his family lived. Came back from Kyoto and in that system, it's basically, you kind of go off on your own and test out if your stuff works, right? So it's one of those that I started working in nightclubs, doing security work and bouncing in nightclubs in Virginia Beach. Eventually started getting into where I was managing nightclubs and managing some of the security. And in one of the clubs that I was a part owner in, I would hire all guys from the SEAL teams who were living in Virginia Beach. So kind of got embedded into that community. Was hiring all those guys.
If there's going to be a club that I'm going to go to where I want to feel safe.
Well, it's a club. All those guys wanted to go because it was a club called Rogues, Rogues Gallery, and it's if anybody from Virginia Beach, they remember that place was it in the 80s.
I'm going to write that down. My dad was stationed there.
Yeah, Rogues is not there anymore, but it was one of those. We were working guys at Worrell Brothers, Rogues, all over the beach, and they just wanted to work where because that was all the girls were, right? So it's like
That makes sense.
those guys come in, they work the door, they're taking IDs, they're meeting all the girls, and it was one of those things. So that's kind of how I got to know a lot of people from that community and get very close to that community. And it kind of turned into there was a big, fighting was getting to be a big thing down in Virginia Beach. There was a guy, Frank Cucci, and some other people who were teaching martial arts. I was still with Hamada at Old Dominion University because I'd come back from Japan. And just kind of got integrated that because the guys who were working with me were like, hey, you want to come out to Pungo before Pungo was Blackwater? And that was the range out there, and we would go shoot out there and do a bunch of stuff. And it was just, it was kind of one of these Forrest Gump. I got to experience a lot of things and do some, with a lot of fun guys.
I just got on the wrong bus.
Yeah, it was just, and made some very close friendships, and kind of that was spending a lot of time around a bunch of people who were very serious about the job they were doing.
Wow.
So there's kind of this marriage between the very traditional Japanese martial arts of what I was studying, the guys that I was hanging out with because we worked together in the nightclubs and doing all that kind of stuff, and then just building my philosophy around kind of who I am and marrying those two. So take the horses, take the martial arts, take, all of that stuff, and then kind of slam it all together. And it's kind of turned out to what I'm doing now, right? So it's one of those to where I want to go.
I mean, you got the martial arts, you got the outdoorsman stuff, which I think is actually pretty outstanding because you said your grandfather taught a lot of that to you.
Yeah.
So now you've gone and taught your grandfather's teaching on to a lot more people. So
yeah, it's
he gets to live on through that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, my mother, one of her master's degrees was in education, so she was the assistant principal of my high school. So she was an amazing educator, and I think that's where I got my ability to teach. So, and that's what I love. I mean, it's I've talked to the guys on the board and all of that kind of stuff, and it's like, look, love doing the board stuff, but I want to be
talking to people,
at the barn,
helping them learn
in the woods,
yeah,
shooting arrows, starting fires.
Oh my God, we'll talk about shooting arrows in a little bit, or some people's lack of their ability to shoot arrows. Niko, so both of you are pretty worldly guys. You traveled to Japan to train. Yeah. You went back to Greece to train and serve.
Yeah,
right?
I have my stories really like I feel like an ant looking up at Mount Rushmore.
Well, it's
Forrest Gump.
It's an ant that has 400 hours of views in a 5-minute clip of you talking about your time in the service. So it's not as small as you think it is. But like I said, we have an entire sect of viewers that apparently just want to watch it.
And it's crazy because my cousin in Greece, Luca, he messaged me when I had reached out to you, and he goes, "Holy cow, I just watched you on YouTube." And
he had, he just popped up randomly.
My aunt went cuckoo. She's like, "Call Niko right now in the United States." And it was incredible. I had no idea. He goes, "Dude, you look awesome. What a great show.
Yeah.
Keep it up."
What's awesome is that I love the fact that the amount of comments that we got in that 5-minute clip. So Niko, for those who might be new to the show, was our first guest. All right. And our producer took a 5-minute clip of him talking about his time. Yeah, I like that. Good job. All right, took a 5-minute clip of him talking about his time in service, and we posted it. And the comments that are in there were just people sharing their experiences as well. That I went back and did this, or I stayed but I did that as well, or I I served, and then I did like Niko did. We went to America and all that stuff. So it's overwhelmingly positive.
I love that.
And I like it. It's pretty cool. But you've been busy yourself as well. There, Mister, I have my own beer, and
now.
I'm doing a bunch of firearm training. Look like you're about to go raid Budweiser to take out the competition. Is that Jason Bourne? So what's going on with you, man, lately?
I've always trained with firearms of various kinds, taken a lot of courses. Ben DeWalt from On-Site Firearms Training is a personal friend, and he's an incredible instructor, and his staff are amazing people.
I'll clarify, all right, for the audience at home. The firearms training that I've been witnessing Niko go through is not simply, I'm going to go to the range, I'm going to put some rounds, in some paper, and then we're going to go home and call it good. No, this is out in the field, rain or shine, long arm, side arm, shoot and move, communicate. Look like you guys are training.
Yeah, it's mostly defensive, like outdoor defensive skills. So take what you get a pistol permit. Where are you going to end up with it? Are you just happy having a pistol permit? Because I'm not. I want knowledge. Knowledge is power. Know your surroundings. Know your layout of your home. You're going to protect your family.
Yeah.
So anybody can just pull out their pistol and aim it, but it takes a brain behind it to know what's going on.
I promote it 100%.
So
there's actually a training that I've been wanting to do as of recent. Besides that, because I'd love to get out there and do with you that. I just got to get my paperwork squared away. But it's like combat triage for medic stuff. So Fieldcraft Survival, if they ever want to sponsor us at some point in time,
actually
comes to Connecticut and puts on like an extreme course for a day where they show you how to put on chest seals, how to use tourniquets, how to pack deep wounds. All right, it's all these super emergent stuff to save lives in seconds, where you have to react to it.
So there's on-site firearms training. They have a medevac course. Actually, it's an 8-hour course, soup to nuts. They do it at Academy in Salem. I missed the last one, but the next one's coming up in a couple months. It is incredible.
That has been something that's been in the back of my mind as of late. It's it's like, okay, we can get my papers squared away, we can start doing some firearm training, but in the end, what's the one thing I want to be able to do most? And that's just be able to help somebody.
Yeah.
So I think it would be very vital for me to do that, and especially with the amount of stuff that we all do, right? Nick's going to be out there freaking four-wheeling here soon, so just in case he wants to, I don't know, get up.
It's important to know skills
or something like that. Yeah, you could have.
The like Thor's ruck up.
Let's
we'll
get into ruck
We'll get to that in a minute.
Bush crafting and actually knowing your surroundings and the tools that you have in your ruck.
Thor, you'll like this.
As you know, because a couple of you here have been through the ruck up, and having those tools in your ruck, you have it in your truck, your car, whatever. It's life's essential little treats that will get you out of a jam, or even possibly help someone in need. There's a lot of things that you can use it for.
So we're gonna talk about ruck up just because you brought it up, and I loved it.
You did it.
You did it.
Yep.
No, that was a super life-changing thing for me. When we can get into like the deeper meaning stuff of it, right? That Thor, you've talked about before, and I know that you've talked about. But if you go just solely from the skills alone, right? I learned some things I didn't know before, but I also took that same enthusiasm that you guys brought with it, and I brought it home. Like my son has his own go bag now.
That's awesome.
All right. All of my kids actually have small little medical bags. All right, that I made for them of all the things they might need, just in case they're out with their friends and someone gets, a boo-boo of some form or fashion. It's something they can treat something they can treat that doesn't require them to call 911. It's just instilling that little bit of preparedness in their mind for that. My son's all about it. He's just like, you can go over in my bag, make sure I got everything in there. He's like, are we gonna go practice starting a fire? I'm like, yes,
100%.
I love that.
So it's extended to the family. All right. And I mean, as you guys can see, like that ruck comes with me everywhere I go. So it was something that I'd always toyed with, right? The preparedness mindset, but that kind of just pushed me over the edge and said, hey, just go do it. So it's been pretty fun since
No,
then.
it changes a lot of things about you. You know, you get to get out of your comfort zone and try something totally different. You know,
Yeah.
great instruction, and you meet some great like-minded people along the way. And you make that connection there. It's I can't emphasize this. It's about connecting the dots. There are so many good people, and in every circle, you just gotta pick out.
They're
the ones-
great people with savage insults when you don't know how to shoot a bow.
Yes.
You should.
Oh my God,
The world should see how terrible I
oh my
am.
God. I can't even
at
imagine
this.
the trash talking.
Oh my God! It was, or Thor. I don't know if you saw the picture.
Oh,
my,
yes.
my left
Yes,
arm
I
from
saw
my
it in
wrist to my
real
elbow.
life.
But I don't know how to shoot a bow. But when I do it entirely wrong.
The reasoning to wear proper equipment. So.
Next time we'll get you a vacuum pad.
What was the proper equipment? A new body? A brain? Like
it's actually, yeah, it's interesting you should talk about that. So it's some of those, the medical component we are adding to the Ruck Up
Oh, wow.
curriculum. So it's based in kind of woodland first aid. So, you know, usually it's sprains, breaks, punctures, those types of things,
Yeah.
not from gunshot wounds, but you trip and you fall on a stick or you fall on something like that, or, you know, or usually it's some sort of compound fracture.
a sucking chest wound is a sucking chest wound.
Sucking chest wound is a sucking chest wound. So in looking at the curriculum as a whole, you know, and it's really a lot of what Ruck Up is, and, you know, we could talk about the deeper stuff, you know, life philosophy and those types of things. But it's interesting. So everybody here's probably watched Pat Mack. My favorite line by him is never miss an opportunity to be the Batman, right? It's
Never.
never miss an opportunity. And it's just that you should be a first responder. You should have those skills and have the ability to take care of others. And that's the basis of what that is. And that's a life philosophy versus, you know, a lot of people look at what we're doing with the training, with the firearms and all of that. And they're like, you're wacky preppers or you're this, that, and the other thing. It's like, no.
Yeah. Well,
If I'm in a car accident, I want
Some
to
of
know.
us
and-
maybe, but
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Well, it's wanting to have the knowledge.
Yeah.
If there's an accident or something happens, first aid, you want to have the knowledge to be able to do something instead of being the guy standing there.
well, yeah, especially, you know, when you're like me and I have a family. I don't want to be, you know, the dad or the husband that's going, I'm sorry, I don't know how to help you.
That's the
I- you
worst
know, I
situation
wanna-
to be in.
I want
Worst
to be the
situation.
guy to help. You know?
right.
So I've been at least trying to do any online training I could. It's definitely something I want to continue, you know, further is that no matter where I am, you know, I might travel to California, you know, I can't carry a firearm there, but I can carry my knowledge on how to help somebody.
Right.
So that's my
Biggest
thing,
thing.
right? You can always just have that.
Yep.
Right. And some of them are really good about teaching you how to be able to apply that with what you have on you. Like you don't always have to you know, carry things. Now, yes, I do have a ranged trauma kit in my truck at all times.
Right.
And then a small first aid kit in my ruck, but just in case, you know. You never know when you need to pack something with a leaf.
Yeah, I mean, it's more likely that you're going to use first aid versus self-defense.
Yeah. Right?
So, I mean, it's one of those, you know, just being properly paired with the right knowledge, right mindset, and right tools.
So let's talk about Ruck Up a little bit more. When's the next one, and what do you guys do? For those, I mean, we have an entire episode on Ruck Up, but you guys
Right.
made some changes. But I'd like to hear it from, and I know our audience would like to hear it specifically from you guys. You know,
Well, we've been trying to do like April usually.
yeah,
The weather is usually kind of inclement, but honestly, if you're gonna do some
ain't raining.
bushcraft skills, inclement weather is the perfect environment.
I enjoyed it. It didn't bother me because how many times we all had to embrace the suck with our
Yeah,
fellow
it's
brothers.
100%.
it's a veteran adult day camp. You know, like
Yeah, veteran cowboy shit, as I like to call it.
That's it.
It was awesome. But
Yeah, so Ruck Up is on the books. It's one of those that we haven't started ramping up as it yet. The format generally stays the same. It's 2 days, an equine component of working with the horses, the outdoor skills component, the archery component, and the firearms component. So that's going to stick. We're looking at when we can kind of add that kind of first aid component as well, and that just may flow into the outdoor skills piece. It's just some an overview, because all of this is just exposure, right? It's kind of like, hey, do you like this? Do you like that? Do you like this? Come back, and deep dive those topics. So try to pause so you can clip that one out.
Pause for editing.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've heard from Thor, but what if we go for Ruck Up? All right.
As a participant.
On a deeper level, what does Ruck Up mean to you? Both as someone who's gone through it and someone who now kind of runs it.
I don't know, a sense of purpose, I guess. That camaraderie. Like a lot of the vets that come out, I don't want to say like they're lost, but there's a big piece missing. And when they go through this, like from the beginning of, saying yes, and then coming out to from the first
If you can
couple
get
of
them to say
hours.
yes.
Oh my God, the first couple of hours to see the transition throughout the day is absolutely monumental and priceless. The smiles, the laughter, the storytelling between each other, maybe finding
The ball busting.
the dark
Well, that's very
humor.
interesting because you guys were kind enough to have Doug and I out there for the last Ruck Up, so we got to see it from a participant's perspective. But it's very interesting to hear that that's what you see from an outside perspective.
I take a lot of pictures and I balance it out so I can get archery and pistol and the bushcraft and horses, and just the transition from coming out. You don't know what to expect, so and you have reservations, and just watching the transition for me from start to finish is absolutely priceless. That's my biggest fulfillment, is watching a bunch of strangers come together and become a team, become a unit.
Yeah, they were definitely ribbing on me like they were my shipmates. I tell you what.
And it doesn't
Nick,
just end
we
there.
gotta like scrounge up the videos of me attempting to shoot a bow and just show the world. Just show them. I have no shame. That's fine. It was a fantastic event. With more planned for the future, and then growing, as you said, medical component will be definitely awesome. With it. I definitely know that I want to be out there to help you guys out.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, when you've gone through this, you come back and volunteer, you can help somebody else in the process too. Whether it be a nice little conversation or just some point of interest, or just show them a couple little things, like pass on the knowledge. I have to say, like, Kurt Herzberg from Academy, which is the HAVA honoring American Veterans of Field, representative for Connecticut, and his staff are absolutely amazing. One of the reasons why this is so, what's my word? Successful. Thank you, Thor. Is because of this partnership that we have with them. It's an overwhelming feeling. It really fills your heart.
Yeah, that's HAVA's pretty awesome. That's where they got Chris Fleming, gentleman who just sailed across the Atlantic for Skeleton Race Crew. Here's a plug for another one of our videos. Go watch it.
Chris Fleming. He called me a few months ago. He's sitting in Scotland on a tour by himself, and the lady that's giving the tour is full-blown Greek. So they FaceTime me while he's drinking $500 single malt scotch, and he goes, "I know exactly who I'm calling. I'm calling the Greek Freak."
Greek Freak.
I love you, Twinkle Toes.
Yeah.
You called him Twinkle Toes.
He knows. It's you. You know I love you, Chris.
Hey, I was to say, as a party gift, when he went out to sea, I gave him it was a bag. It had like Twinkies in it, like some basic odds and ends and everything. But at the very bottom was a small can of WD-40 for his legs.
Yes,
So
that's priceless.
that's hilarious. All right, so let's talk about the Evening of Elegance. Ooh. Tell me about that, guys. I've only heard whispers of such wonderful things.
That's
Go ahead, Thor. What was the Evening
that's
of
all you,
Elegance?
buddy. That's a symphony right there.
Yeah, that's
I'm still giggling.
Well, it's what I'm trying to find a humorous way that you don't put into the video, but it's one of those. It was, it's taking a bunch of rednecks and taking them to the ball, right? So it's kind of
Beverly Hillbilly style, right?
right. It was or Cinderella, right? It's the
You took Cinderella to the barn and the rednecks
Well,
to the ball.
Cinderella, she was the poor little girl who did the floors, and she tried to put her dress together out of twine and
A bunch of
feed
animals.
bags. So till the fairy godmother came along, and that's kind of what happened.
Why do I feel like this is your favorite bedtime story? You're getting oddly specific with it.
Well, three sisters, and so cut that out too. So, yep.
Editing.
Boy
for
can
review.
dream, right? Boy can dream. So it was really one of those that I think it's a testimony of the work that we've been doing, and that people have heard about. Because we run into so many people who go, "Oh, you're out in North Stonington. I haven't heard about you guys. Haven't this, that." And I think we're getting ready to become an overnight success after 10 years. And it's a testament of the new board of directors that has come on, that every one of them is just hit the ground running and kind of.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Definitely had to have a
exploding.
conversation with your communications director.
Ashley.
And everything. Yep. Ashley Mullins.
Ashley Mullins.
Yep.
Mullen, yeah. She's a pipe hitter.
She is.
Yeah,
she's
put
badass.
me to the mat. Like I had to answer some tough questions, but totally worth it to have you guys on the show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she's amazing. I mean, everybody on the board, and so having that, getting the recognition that is coming from the hard work that the board is doing, and we were recognized by this organization, Evening of Elegance, which is another Connecticut 501. And what they do is they choose a charity for the year to fundraise for, and they chose Veterans Equine Therapeutic Services, and their fundraising culminates in this one evening, this event, the Evening of Elegance. It was out at the Haley Mansion in Mystic. Beautiful, beautiful location. And they have the Evening of Elegance is like they call it the white party. So everybody wears white suits,
yeah,
white
I saw the
clothing, and
pictures.
everything like that.
It was fly. I like it. Y'all look pretty good.
They pull out all the stops. I mean, and it was
amazing.
Lisa Chielty, and she was the founder, and her board really worked really hard, did a lot of fundraising, and raised a significant amount of money for our organization. So
That
we're quite excited about that.
awesome.
I'm truly honored that they chose us, and they're amazing people. I've never thought I'd buy 4 outfits of white clothes.
But
to
you
see.
did.
I was
But did.
so
You
excited
are.
to see that too.
And I have to say, I look pretty damn good.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of surprised you didn't already have the outfits.
I'm not good with white.
Yeah, I think you would do fine.
When I think-
I could you're the Greek freak. I could absolutely see you on the end of a yacht in like just white linen shorts and shirts, and a
100%
hat,
the hat, the
cigar,
whole thing. That's what I was
scotch.
thinking.
Until I turn
Right.
around, there's a tomato stain on
Yeah,
my chest.
except I want your shirt like fully open, all the taco meat hanging out, and as many gold chains as you could fit on you. Just looking like a mob boss.
Taco meat.
Yep.
Well, you get all that with this.
That's awesome that
Yeah,
you
it
guys
was
had that.
that amount of fundraising was
Game
is
changer.
game changing. So it's one of those that it's I've always wanted to before our founder Craig passed away, we had discussed that my job was to make it so money was never an object for the organization, and we're kind of getting to that point, but the plan and the mission is sort of shifting. We're looking at how we can purchase property and build a complex that allows us to do what we do 7 days a week.
So one of the things that's interesting about yeah, it is huge. But one of the things that's interesting about like the charity world, especially with the one that we're in, it's changing a lot. Like we have to adapt to what's going on because the needs of the community, because that's what we're here for, right? Is the needs of the community. The needs of the community are going to change, but you guys seem to be adapting quite well. So I mean, that's pretty awesome. To see.
As any organization, it's very challenging. But I'm a true believer if you have the right people in place, anything is possible.
Willing to do the work.
Yeah,
That's-
because it does. It's hard work.
That's awesome. Okay, back to Nick real quick.
Let's talk about
Let's talk about your beer real quick. Now, I don't even like beer most of the time, but I like this.
I talked to Rob Miller this morning from Epicure Brewing, and he's like, He goes, hey,
Greek
buddy,
freak
it's your beer. He goes, we'll put whatever you want on it. I'm like, and I told him, like, in big capital letters, our beer. Because they came to me a few months ago, and they approached me at the restaurant, and my brother looks over and he goes, you're all crazy. And he goes, yes, we are.
Yes.
But we're going to make a beer after your brother. And I was, honestly, I didn't even know what to say. Truly humbled, and I get emotional about it because it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Friends were at Willie Brew the other night and taking pictures. They're like, we're having a Greek freak on tap.
Yep.
And my response was like, how do I taste?
Pretty damn good.
Greek.
But it's
You taste very Greek. Lots of olive oil.
I've sent it to 12 states, Puerto Rico, Greece. Rob Backus in Aruba had it yesterday. It was in Gran Canaria, Spain. I'm like, holy cow. And it's funny, on the bottom of the cans, it says mutter putter. Thank you, Doug. Doug Capazzi came up with that saying, and I use it extensively.
Hey, how does it feel to not only be worldwide on a podcast, but worldwide with a beer? Like the small Greek freak from Salem is worldwide on 2 different
Small
fronts.
Greek freak. From
It's
Salem.
first of all, it's unbelievable. I still can't believe it, and I don't think of myself like that. You know, I'm just a
International
dude.
male.
I'm just a dude trying to do some good in this world, and that's really it. And you know, Epicure Brewing and Jimbo, the head brewer, and all the volunteers, John Brisson. Oh my God, amazing! They came up with this concept. They did some great artwork. I don't know if Doug Capazzi had anything to do with it, but he always has his finger in some pot. He had made me a 3D helmet that looks just like that I wear. We had done the kickoff at Epicure. There was over 220 people there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Doug and I were there.
I brought all the Spartan helmets. People were wearing them, taking pictures. It was awesome.
Yeah, Greek freak.
But not only that, Epicure Brewing is a huge veteran supporter. They do a lot for the community. They've done stuff for Guardians of the Purple Heart, Killfoot Clothing, Vets. They gave me a check for $350 from that day from the sales of the pint glasses. They have our ammo can over there. People donate money, which is, you know, it sucks, but truly we need funds to be able to do
what
the
we
mission
do.
at hand, you know, and help the veteran community, because that's what it's all about.
That's it's
I'm honored, man.
that's pretty crazy. Speaking of other honors, all right, from what I understand, that the gentleman sitting between us recently was given an award of some sort.
Yes, he was, and I actually wrote it down.
I'll let you talk about it, because him talking about it himself.
He's a humble, kind soul, you know, and so Thor Torgersen. Do I say that right?
That's right.
All
Yeah.
He's the co-founder of Veteran Equine Therapeutic Services, and what was it, last month?
Yes.
Yeah, last month.
Yesterday was last month. So.
Yep.
Yesterday was last month.
Which is true.
Good job, you're tracking.
He was nominated and won the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union Spotlight on the Community Award, correct?
Yes.
Which is a big deal. You know, he doesn't toot his own horn, and you know, he's like you called him. What'd you call him? Spacious.
Yeah,
Poet warrior.
Yeah, poetic
I love
warrior.
that. He's a ninja. You know, and he just gets it done. He goes out there and he balances not just his personal life, his work life, his ethics, but this organization. And there's a lot constantly compressing on him. He's had 2 major losses this year, Craig McAllister and his father. You know, and,
Yeah, so
and he
sorry,
still gets out there and he gets it done. So if anyone was to say about leading by example and proof is in the pudding, like, I look to Thor for strength. And when I see him getting it done and putting his personal feelings aside to help the organization, the board members, the volunteers, and the veterans, man, that's overwhelming.
Wow. Everybody's Google searches after this are going to be nothing but Greek's toots horn of
Right. Yeah.
Scandinavian cowboy.
I don't know if that sounds appropriate. You know, Greek freak toots Thor's horn kind of thing. But
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's for later for covers down.
Yes, the
No, for
covers down.
covers down.
Covers down.
It's the back channel.
Trademark.
So, you know,
That's no. Well, congratulations, Thor. What?
Yeah, it
hopefully
was.
that
It
means
was
a lot to you.
Lee Elsey and 94.9 and Charter Oak Federal Credit Union put that award together for people that they feel should be recognized, and they were gracious enough to see the work that we've been doing and
Well, I'm happy to see you
nominate
get
me.
it.
So it is.
'Cause I definitely know that the Ruck Up event and hanging out with you guys definitely had a positive impact on me.
Thanks.
So I think it's well deserved. Also, happy belated birthday, from what I
Yeah,
understand.
the 26th.
So there's
old.
that as well.
Old man.
I don't know about that, man.
Season
Yeah.
Put most of us to shame.
grizzled.
Yeah, that's.
Combined.
No, I love it. I love my age. Love having the experiences I've had. And,
Yeah, that
and
wisdom.
I think I posted on my Facebook that I'm marking this as the halfway point. So 61, and I plan on living in another 61 years.
You're 61.
Yeah,
Doesn't look it, does he?
yeah.
Dude, right?
Easy
all that
10 years
Norwegian
younger than he
bush
actually
jazz.
looks. It is. It's that Scandinavian blood he's got.
I'm aging too fast.
I know.
Oh, it's Seth at 61.
Right? That's the Scot in me. We just we come out looking this old.
Just bring out some claymores.
Right? That's no. But my stepdad's the same way. He's 63 years old now. It's same. Still just right? It's
Hard charge, man.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
My wife this
It's
morning
those
goes,
Northerners.
God, babe, you smell so good. I'm like, you know why? I'm like, beard octane.
See, last time
beard octane.
I told you smelled good, you
Nice
got
plug.
angry with me. Now, granted, you were in the
did.
bathroom at the time, and I was
All right.
standing behind you, but
I was having an off moment.
Was it techno music playing?
Oh my God, just this morning, it was coffee.
it was just Marvin
blueberry,
Gaye.
lathering it on, and then I use liquid gold in the old beard, makes it shine and full.
From what'd you use?
The beard octane.
Beard
Liquid
octane?
Gold.
Yeah,
Gold
Beard
Beard
Octane,
Fall.
liquid gold.
Where can you,
Lather
where
it
can you
up.
purchase
Hopefully, the
that?
future sponsor of Cover Down
Yes,
Podcast.
where can that be purchased?
You know what? You guys are in luck. I got some oils and stuff in the truck. I would
yeah?
happily give to you. Yeah,
Oh, because I'm
why
feeling
not?
feeling a bit wiry today.
You know, even if
Aye,
you
mate.
got a very short one like Nick and Doug here, you guys can just sprinkle it on.
I haven't shaved in 4 days.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's Nick's been a baby face ever since I've known him.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing the
I know.
grizzly bear.
You are?
Yeah,
Yeah, you came in looking like, oh man.
You guys
Yeah,
just
it's
came back
grizzly
from
bear.
Wyoming
Well, you rode in.
yeah.
on a horse.
It looked like William Shakespeare on a
Yeah,
Harley.
yeah.
Just
Digging it. Yeah,
Perfect
trying,
joke.
Yeah.
trying to build the brand.
Steve
do it.
McQueen.
Trying to
Abs-
brand.
Steve McQueen too. That's high praise to call anybody Steve
That is a
McQueen.
very Steve.
Yeah,
That's my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
guy.
I got that compliment. Last year I was in Florida. Some old drunk lady was like, "You look like Steve McQueen." I was dressed up in the same thing, all the white, because I was at a wedding, so it was all white
Nice.
linen and stuff.
Oh,
And everyone's
sexy.
like, "They said you look like an old man." I was like, "Okay, first off, let's have a conversation." Steve McQueen, all right,
Timeless.
all right, timeless,
Timeless,
right?
yep.
In his movies, his action sequences, Bullet, right? That's where that car got famous, right?
yep.
And then, if I remember correctly, he was also one of the star pupils of Bruce Lee.
He studied with Bruce Lee.
Smokes, I
Yeah.
know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve
Him
McQueen
and
was
all
a
those
big
Hollywood
deal.
guys.
It was a clown.
Him and James Coburn.
Yeah.
They both
You get Steve McQueen, I get Shrek.
You can Shrek. Donkey! Swamp donkey.
And in the morning, we'll have it waffles.
Yeah, I need to watch that again.
I know.
It's classic.
So what else you guys got coming up for vets? Now that you're winning awards and elegant in the evening
yes,
and stuff.
the overnight success.
You know, yesterday it was slow at the restaurant, so it was cleaning up.
You
a
mean
little
Two
bit.
Brothers Pizza in Salem?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I
Oh, what's the address of that?
What is the address of Two Brothers
20
Pizza?
Hartford Road, Salem, Connecticut.
Wow. That sounds like the kind of place that has like a weekly special.
It does.
Yeah,
and,
like every week they have one special type of pizza or dish.
the buffalo
want-
chicken nacho pizza was this past week.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say it was banging.
Yeah.
So I was cleaning
There's
behind
still
the bar.
one, and it's just the pure majesty of it.
You know what
Is that you had, I think it was it a Big Mac pizza?
Big Mac meat. Actually, I have to. That's
It tastes like a Big Mac.
Yeah,
like you got the special sauce. I don't know. You hang out with
Adam.
Plankton.
I'm gonna throw your
somehow
name
got the
out
recipe.
there. Adam Soderberg, I believe. He is a National Guard. I think he's a Chief Warrant Officer 3, Air National Guard. I'm sorry, National Guard Aviation, and he came up with the Big Mac. And just before he was
The most
being
surprising
deployed.
Pizza.
Oh my lord! But you know what I have to bring back is the cover down. That is banging. That is a banging
Yes.
pizza.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Yes, it is, and you absolutely should bring it back.
Fried
that way-
banana peppers, pickles, and
Yeah, we're pickle freaks here.
some
Pickles are
swine.
huge.
Yep. Because when Niko's not with vets or running his business, he's helping us liberate pickles from people's table.
Yes.
The pickle litters.
So what else you got going on for vets? What else is up?
Go for it.
We have 2 fundraisers coming up. One is October 21st. We partnered up with Beard Brewing
Okay.
at the Velvet Mill. It's a Halloween extravaganza. Kids are welcome.
Nice.
Have some contests. There'll be some raffle prizes. This beard.
Beer.
Yeah, beard. I mean, you can. Aaron and Precious.
Yeah, they're amazing.
absolutely amazing, hands down. Huge supporters of the veteran nonprofit world. They do
They have
a
2
lot.
locations, right?
Yep, and they have one in Groton.
In the Velvet Mill.
Yep.
Yeah, out at the airport.
Yep, beautiful location.
Out of the
by way.
airport?
Yeah, it's the industrial complex right across from the airport. Yeah, they have a
It's
brewery
super
there.
Yeah,
nice.
that's right behind me.
Yeah, super nice, dude.
There's a cheese place over there that I go to every once in a while.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. So that's 6 to 9, I believe, on Saturday, October 21st at Beard Brewing and at the Velvet Mill in Stonington.
Nice.
And then we have
Another event.
yes, there's going to be a lot of
There's a
events.
lot of events.
Wow.
I'm working on some secret squirrel stuff myself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, geez.
Hello.
Hello, Governor.
October 23rd, Vets Ice Cream Social, Mel's Creamery. They have
Ice cream social. I love how you kick it classic.
you like that?
Ice cream social.
Oh
Yeah.
baby.
Yep.
There's gonna be soda pop.
We're
We're gonna do the hand jive.
come down. I'll,
what?
I'll put some extra nuts on your ice cream.
Oh, thanks. While we're doing the hand jive.
Mel's Creamery. There's 2 locations. They're both doing them. One's in Stonington and one's in Colchester.
All right.
They do a fantastic job. They're really nice family, run and owned, and
Nice.
they do a good job. Their ice cream is delicious. I try to frequently go.
Nice.
So
Yeah, so John's there. And
yeah.
there's
What else,
always, I mean, there are fundraisers, you know, that as far as the operation, Craig McAllister's horse, Percy, has retired. So all of the horses that we have are actually,
Quite literally out to pasture, huh?
yeah, but he worked supporting veterans for the majority of his life. So it's one of those that we're trying to honor him and make
Yeah.
sure that he's well taken care of.
Absolutely.
And so we have a GoFundMe to pay for that, right? So we want to make sure that he's just not getting dumped off somewhere.
No.
And we would never do that because of the work that he's done. And he's worth it. So we've got the GoFundMe that's working. You can go on our website, vetct.org. And I need another one of those.
sorry, buddy.
No more?
Cop
Okay.
out.
That was my last
Just
one.
got this.
That's
Yeah.
all right.
We can
Right.
drink some
That's
of your whiskey that you brought.
It's my
I'm
natural.
just saying that should clear your throat up.
Yeah,
What did you
that's-
bring when you passed me that?
Yes, this is a
this-
little.
This gorgeous bottle, the Sexton Single Malt Irish Whiskey,
Sexton Single
distilled
Malt.
in copper pots.
Oh, that's the best. That's the only way.
Copper pot. That's a thing.
That's
Yeah, it's
that's,
not bathtub gin.
That's
It's-
like traditional Irish
I
style
like
right there.
bathtub gin. I
Yeah,
like being
that's-
temporarily blind when I drink alcohol.
and sterile.
and sterile.
Yeah.
True Navy veteran.
What's weird is it's temporarily
Yes,
sterile.
it is temporary. Yeah, so it's like, you know.
Drinking some hooch in the submarine.
Oh my god. We're not. No. Never.
No.
Never.
Oh my God, I've got
Yeah. I could still be held responsible for some of that
got a
stuff.
great story about that. The Polish Navy.
Oh, the Polish Navy. What do you got?
Actually, it was
Go ahead. Tell me a story. Tell me a story. We got time
okay.
for a story.
So there was a time in my life I was racing tall ships. I was on crew with the Dharma Jersey, which is the Polish national clipper.
man.
And we were sailing. It was the tall ships race. I can't remember what year it was, but we sailed from Edinburgh to Bremerhaven to Frederikshavn to Copenhagen. And there were probably, in Europe, these are huge. We do sail fests here, but they do actually tall ships races, and they have a huge race.
Yeah, they have the one going on right now, that Magellan race that the Skeleton Crew Racing's in.
Yeah.
You know, that the archaic, only done by sextons, sail around the world crap. Yeah, I know, they're nuts.
Yeah.
Continue.
So sailing with the Polish merchant marines, they didn't have enough crew to fully man the ship. The Dharma Jersey is as big as the Eagle. And so they hire transient crew. And the guys on this crew make their own moonshine. And
I already
I've
love these
never
sailors.
drank something that literally took the top layer of my tongue off. It was when they talk about Russian soldiers making antifreeze vodka and that type of stuff. This is exactly what it was, and it was the best way, to.
You can't have the
embed
first few
yourself.
drops, you'll go blind. But after that,
It was one of those. I was like, I took a drink of this antifreeze, and literally it just skinned the top layer of my tongue off, and I'm like, swallowed it, and they're all laughing and dying and having a great time, because I'm drinking battery acid.
basically,
But it was one of those.
the bottle
like,
just
yes,
says
I've-
alkaline on it.
it was just a clear bottle.
It's good.
Yeah, it was amazing. There's a lot of stories around that when we were in.
Just keep you warm in Siberia.
Yeah, but stories from another time, because we were the only the transients were allowed to leave the ship. So everybody on my crew, we were on the overnight watch, the midnight. So we were noon to 6, and then from noon to 6, and they got all of their money together, and they had 100 Deutschmarks, and they're like, we want 100 beers, right? So they're like,
Deutschmarks.
well, we were going to Germany, right? So they had.
I said, do they even have Deutschmarks anymore? Or are they
They're
still
not,
using
it's euro now.
Yeah, they're using the euro now, right?
Oh, there we go. We date it.
Yep.
So
Dated
we
yourself
took all
right
we took all their money, right, and 2 sea bags, and me and another guy go into Bremerhaven, wandering around, find this little gas station, because we're at the industrial docks, right? So we get in there. There's this old guy sitting in front, and I'm speaking in limited German, and we're trying to go back and forth that we need 100
Haben
beers.
Sie
Beer.
blinding beer?
And, so we've got the money, and he's like, basically says, well, I can give you 60 good beers and then 40 really crappy beers. And all the beers are in bottles, right? So they're these big bottles. So we've got these 2 sea bags, and we're jamming these 100, and we're talking to the guy and find out he was a U-boat sailor as a boy during the war.
Wow.
So we hang around and have a talk with him, telling us about being on the U-boats. We pack up all the beer. We go back to the festival, and it's like Sail Fest, because when we stop in port, and we're coming up to the ship, right? And you have to get whistled on every time because of your crew. And we're like, okay, we're bringing contraband, 200 beers or 100 beers onto the boat, right, in our sea bags. And it was funny because we stopped for a beer at a little bar because we didn't want to drink the cruise beer, right? So we're sitting there with 2 sea bags full of
man of
100 beers,
integrity right
having
there.
beer, right? Get back to the boat, and the entire crew is lining the edge of the boat, right? And they're losing their minds because we're coming back, and they see this is going to start the party where I drink the gasoline, right? And it's in the middle of the festival, so there's thousands of people, right? We're walking up, we're coming up the ramp. The captain is there, everybody's there, and we're like, okay, are they going to stop us? Because you can see that these bags are just full of bottles pushing out everywhere. It's like clank, 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 clank.
What do you got in there? Nothing.
Yeah. And literally, when we get in, go downstairs into the crew berthing area, break those beers out, and they broke out the moonshine, and it turned into a party where 2 of the crew jumped ship, went out that night, and 5 o'clock in the morning, we were on the deck because we could leave. We're coming back, and 2 of the guys are climbing up the anchor chain to the ship.
These are my kind of sailors.
Back up on the boat.
I love this.
Yeah, it was an amazing, and that was just Edinburgh. So
That shit
it
just
was,
Edinburgh.
yeah, it was,
Edinburgh be like that sometimes.
Damn.
You've been to Edinburgh, right? Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. I've had some fun in Edinburgh.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. The Greek military, we get beers on Saturday and Sunday for lunch and dinner.
That's
You're
ridiculous.
like the Brits too.
Yeah, they're like mandatory. And there's so many people that actually don't
Mando
drink,
beer.
So I'd have cases.
Heimlich gets way more sideways in Edinburgh, though.
Where?
Hanya,
I don't know. Where's
Oh,
that?
Hanya, yeah, Crete.
Oh,
Yeah,
never
haven't been there.
Suda Bay,
No.
way more sideways than Edinburgh.
Nah, I
I
was.
don't remember even being
very little around the Caribbean for me. A lot of the Northern Europe is.
Did you have the clear stuff? Tikudia, Raki.
So you walk in the street to all the shops, and there's a
Talk about battery acid.
I really hope your mic's on right now.
Of course it is. I push the buttons.
What were you saying?
What were you saying? The audience probably didn't hear.
Walking through Suda Bay, all the shop owners will be outside with shots of that stuff.
Word.
To try and draw you into
Yeah.
the store to buy stuff. So you can walk up and down the street and get hammered.
Free.
Love it.
Free. And the shops open at like 7 a.m. So you're just slinging them back.
I feel like that's a great marketing technique because I don't even know if I'd be able to stop myself being like, free booze? Okay, more free booze. And eventually you can tell me
I got a story for
you
you.
really like
but
those booze,
Yep.
come in and buy these
for
booze.
later.
Yeah, but then you
It's a
can't.
trap. It's a trap.
Then you can't count your money. So you're just like, here, take whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's just,
You're like a 5-year-old with
Do I have
take it out.
enough?
Hope they give you the right change back.
there's a bunch of money and like buttons.
Well, everything's so colorful.
Right.
You got red, blue, green, yellow. You're like, which one?
Yeah, the one with the largest
$30 coin? Who has a $30 coin? It's like,
At least leave it up to like the Scandinavian countries to actually start bringing back the coins that have holes inside them still.
yeah.
Yeah, I like
I
that.
have Greek coins like that.
You have Greek coins? I don't have any Greek coins.
the
Do you
Japanese
want me to
have
give you a couple?
I'd like to see 'em.
Absolutely. No, I'll give you a couple.
They're pretty
Those
cool.
are nice.
in your back pocket.
Yeah, you can put your little paracord through them.
Let's start over.
How many you want? How many you want?
You collect money?
Sometimes, yeah, especially historical stuff.
I got actually. I'll give you one. I have extra one. They're laminated. They're Greek drachmas from the later 1800s.
Word.
Where they actually made even thousands and million drachmas. Incredible. Some really nice stuff. I'll give you one.
Thousands.
Yeah,
a million drachmas.
There you go.
I need
That's
to
probably,
get lunch at school today.
Like,
There you are at the club.
$128.
I think the dancer likes me.
Oh God. So
What else is going on?
What else? What else is going on?
Actually, there is something else going on.
Oh, what do you got here? What do you got?
So, my friend Cody Ferreira, he's a sergeant in the Connecticut National Guard. He's a medevac. I always like to say combat paramedic because it sounds really cool. But he's currently in Iraq serving, and he's part of the
Is he part of the Lifeline?
he's part of Dust Off.
Okay.
It's the 326 medevac, I think it's called.
Okay.
Anyway, the Cody's he had spent a year down in Texas going through the schooling, which is very intense. He's a crew chief, fantastic human being. He's from Salem, Connecticut, personal friend. So we got together, and I had talked to him about possibly getting some shirts. So I brought it to the board at V.E.T.S, and they said, let's do it. So we all came up with, Thor and the gang. I wasn't present, but they came out with a nice logo, the V.E.T.S logo. They came out with OD green shirts,
Nice.
Dust Off with the white with the red cross on it, American flag, and some of the board members got together and packaged it. They gave it all to me, and then my friend Rich Arsenal, which is a huge V.E.T.S supporter, and he owns a little business out in Lebanon, Connecticut called I need glasses. Oh, thanks, brother.
I'm about there myself.
Jesus, sorry, Rich.
Edit.
Yeah, that's a lot of editing.
We're right at the 1 hour. mark,
Anyway,
so if you know that. Clip
so
that.
Rich Arsenal, I brought it over to his shop, and we packaged everything. We took some nice pictures, and he sent it off to Iraq for Cody. And he's done stuff for me too in the past. We did a couple years ago a care package to Iraq for his. To Afghanistan for his unit. There was over 1,500 pounds of care package material, and he sent it all on his dime.
Wow.
So it's pretty amazing. The shirts came out awesome. I sent him some pictures. He's not going to tell anybody, but inside was brochures, patches, stickers. So we wanted to do something nice for him and his unit. On the receiving end, they're going to take some nice pictures all together and send them back to us. Just a nice little PR.
Hey, next time you guys do that, let us know. We'll throw in some of our stuff. Maybe throw in a Stay Proud, Stay Grateful patch.
Actually, I'm happy you mentioned that because starting probably the end of October, I'm going to start doing a care package to Iraq through Two Brothers Pizza, like we usually do.
Cool.
And if I'd love to have vets covered down, Stay Proud, Stay Grateful, and anybody else that would like to send something, the more the merrier. It'll be a welcoming gift, especially around the holidays.
Yeah.
We all know how that feels. So, I'll be in touch and let you guys know. But I'm really happy about Dust Off. Just a little sign that, hey, we care about you.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
You're not forgotten, and, we're here to support you. So,
Yeah, that's a huge piece because, a lot of people are like, wait, we're still in Iraq? It's like, yes,
Yeah.
the military is still out working.
We've
the
been at
military
this
is
thing
still
for
deployed.
so
We have
long
been,
that people are kind of losing touch with it. So it's nice to make sure that to let them know that we still remember you. We're still thinking about you. And then to remind the public as well.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was having a conversation with somebody, and they were just like, "Yeah, the veteran charities are, nobody's thinking about them anymore. It's not popular anymore because we're not at war. It's not one of those things, and that's for
This is the time
organizations
we're gonna
like
need them the
ours
most.
to drive forward, right?
that never ends.
It never ends.
Yeah, it's because they're coming back now. Now's when they're going to need help.
Yeah.
All right. When they're readjusting to society and everything. So it's difficult. But thankfully, we got great organizations like the Veteran Equine Therapeutic Services.
Yeah, we're doing, and like we're saying, a lot of other things that we're working on. I'm working on an event for a group of veterans to take them down to Arlington to see the horses at Arlington. And
I need to get down there.
do an overnight event there at the Old Guard to visit them and see the Tomb of the Unknown and the changing the guard with the veterans. And then most people don't know that there are only 2 horses buried at Arlington.
Really?
One of them is Blackjack, who was the horse who was served at the funeral for John F. Kennedy and several other presidents. So he's buried there. And Comanche, who was the only survivor from the U.S. military side at the Battle of Little Bighorn for Custer. So he's buried there as well.
The only survivor
Yep.
was a horse.
Yes.
holy smokes.
I didn't know that. I learned something today. Nick,
a
you know
massacre.
that?
That's incredible.
You knew that stuff, didn't you? I'm just dumb. All right. Whatever. You learn a little bit every day. But yeah, I got to get down there too. My grandfather actually is buried in Arlington.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. And we're actually
going down November 8th and 9th for our friend Thomas Williamson, one of the most decorated Vietnam vets of Connecticut, possibly New England.
another pipe hitter.
Incredible human being,
Yeah.
humble man. And we're going down with some friends for his funeral. If you want, send me your grandfather's information. I'll be visiting a couple other grave sites.
I don't know how it'll work. It was explained to me by my mother that because of where he is, that it's a list basis. Like if your name's not on the list, you're not getting into there.
Okay.
And I think that's solely because the fact that it looks right over the Pentagon. So they try to keep that area secure as possible. But either way, we'll see.
Yeah, well, that's a
The
beautiful
name we
spot.
can find out.
Yeah, my grandmother had just recently passed away, and she had the opportunity to be buried with him.
Yeah.
But she specifically said, no, that's where the heroes go, and that she'll be somewhere else. Well, her physical being will be in a different location.
Sounds like she was a hero.
Yeah, she, it was really cool because I made sure I brought my dolphins up. So for those who are not aware, in the submarine service, if you retire if you retire as a submariner and you had your spouse with you that entire time, your spouse gets awarded their dolphins as well. And with that, all the submariners present swear pretty much an oath saying that if you ever needed anything, that the submarine community will come help you.
Yeah, that's
Right.
beautiful.
So it was nice to be there as her grandson, but it was nice to be there also as a submariner and to give her my dolphins before she left. To say, hey, your grandson was here, but the community that you served as well was here with you. Because
That's awesome.
She was an ombudsman. Her husband was a force master chief, multiple, chief of the boats, command master chiefs and stuff. So like those were her boys, and she loved them and she took care of them. So I guess that's kind of we all come from something like that or another. So it's nice to know that we're at least keeping their same, thoughts and, going forward.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think we'll cut it there short for the day. We can go on for hours because I know
Yeah.
you two got some stories.
Got a
We'll
lot
have to have you
going.
back
Yeah,
at some
there's-
point in
there's-
time.
I don't know this guy.
Yeah, no, I gotta
You
hear.
should,
I gotta hear
you
more.
should write a book.
Yeah,
I'd read it. I'd read it.
Things that will not be spoken on the podcast.
Sorry,
Yeah,
FCC.
good stuff.
But guys, thank you for coming so much on the show.
Appreciate you
You
guys.
guys got anything else you want to put out real quick before we go?
Yeah, I think it's just one of those that any veterans that are interested in the services that we're offering, or if you're interested in Ruck Up or any of the things that we're doing, please just go to the website. Either send me an email, thor@vetct.org. My personal phone number is on there as well. It's really one of those that, the mission is everything for us, I think, and it's one of those that, at the end of the day, that's what the organization stands for. And I think that people see that, we're going to keep driving this forward, growing it, and, everything, all of our services that we offer are no cost to veterans. So, I mean, it's come out volunteer, come out participate, and we are growing as fast as we can and trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
that's
I mean, I'll
really-
say it for the audience or when we close it up here is that if you're a veteran in need, in any capacity, and it doesn't matter if you're dealing with the horrors of combat coming back from war or serving, your country for a long period of time and you've transitioned to the civilian world and it's becoming difficult. Reaching out to organizations like VETS, like HAVA, like Guardians of the Purple Heart, I can't express enough how much good it can do for you. Because that one Ruck Up event was what I like to call watershed moments. All right, nothing's going to be the same after that.
Yeah.
All right, and that's what it was for me. So I can't say enough about you guys. I love what you do. You're definitely a role models, for Nick and myself as to kind of our plans and what we want to do. It's something to aspire to be like. Keep up the good work. And if you're out there in the world, and you need something, these are the people to talk to, right?
Takes all of us, man. Yeah. Takes all of us.
Reach out. I mean, it's I call it leaving money on the table. I mean, it's really one of those things that, you did serve, you did it. These things that are out there for you are for you. And if you don't take them, that's leaving money on the table.
Yeah, I
It's
definitely
really,
had that issue. I was
yeah.
like, Niko, I don't know, man. Like, I was just a sailor. Like, I didn't do a whole lot. I don't deserve this. Give it to somebody who needs it. And then I pretty much got strong-armed into it. But I'm so glad that I did.
Yeah, and now the onus is on you to pick somebody else. Right?
Yeah, I
I mean,
already
we're
did.
that kind of peer
Already
support to
did.
where it's, it's
Yeah, like the day afterwards, I'm like, I know exactly who I need, who honestly needs to be here.
yeah.
Of course you deserve it.
That's how you build tribe, right?
Yes, it's exactly that. Right. I like that. Thank you for saying that. That's how you build a tribe. Right. That's because we need that. But all right, we'll close it for the day. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
on
you
the
for
show.
Thanks for
having
having
us.
us. Man. This is
I really
amazing.
loved having you guys here. It's nice to have the return of the Greek freak.
We're gonna bring out that cover down pizza again.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. But we'll close the show as we usually do. If you're out there in the world and you see a veteran, shake their hands. Don't shake my hand. I'm a dirty person. Stay away from me. But we will say, as we always do, stay proud, stay grateful. We'll see you next time.
Stay sharp.
Yeah. That'll be the next one. I guarantee you.